Aquarius, what's going on with you? Come on in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. My name's Alan Hill from UnknownTruthTarot.com. Welcome back to another Aquarius love reading. Today we are going to take a look at how your romantic person of interest really feels about you here in December 2024. We're also going to take a look at what they're thinking about you, what their intentions are toward you, and then what their most likely actions are going to be toward you as we move through the rest of December 2024. Then I'm going to finish the reading off by getting you some advice on how to navigate the situation you're finding yourself in with this person as you move through December 2024. So let's get started. Let's get 3 cards for how does Aquarius's romantic person of interest really feel about Aquarius here in December 2024. Okay, what do we got here? Underlying their feelings for you. Oh, crap. 5 of Cups. This is Scorpio energy. 5s are conflict. This is an emotional loss here. This is sadness and remorse about the past, regrets, negative emotions here. The core message of this card is whatever it is that you focus on is literally going to dictate to you what emotions you experience. Here the person's focused on these 3 cups that have been spilled. That represents the love and emotions that have been spilled and wasted, the time, effort, and energy that's been spilled and wasted. They're focused on something that they've lost, so they're feeling that loss. They're focused on something that's missing from their life, and they're feeling that gap in their life. But they do have 2 upright cups behind them, full cups. Like this could represent a connection that they feel, but they're not focused on that. They're focused on this thing that they don't have anymore. This could represent that 3 cups were involved and we've had some third party thing kind of spill the love and emotions between the 2 of you, and there could be another connection looming in the background. This could represent that they still feel a connection toward you, but something has happened between the 2 of you, and them still feeling the connection is probably keeping them focused in a spot that's making them feel sadness and remorse. Yeah, I got 4 of Pentacles behind that Capricorn energy of holding on tightly to something and not wanting to let go of it. And 10 of Cups behind that. This is Pisces energy. This is most people's goal in love and relationships. It's that happily ever after that we all want, that happy fairy tale love connection that we all want. Very rarely does this card actually mean that's what we're looking at here. This is usually I'm wanting to say fairy tale because it's like a happy fairy tale romance, but in essence, that's kind of what it is. It's more like an idealized view of the relationship, more looking at it like for what I want it to be or what I need it to be versus what it actually is. This is a card that gets more people in trouble than any card in the tarot deck. It's because we all want this so bad that we'll ignore red flags. We'll ignore things that are happening and sweep that stuff under the rug, because if any of that stuff's true, then this happily ever after can't be true, and I want this to be true. So we got an element here of trying to hold on probably to what I want this to be as opposed to what it actually is, and then a sense of sadness and remorse and loss and regrets underlying their feelings toward you here. When I look at their actual feelings about you, Aquarius, I get 8 of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and the Chariot. 8 of Pentacles is Virgo energy of work. It's putting in the work, time, effort, and energy on something to get what they want, or at the least being willing to do that. It's looking already like we have had a problem between the 2 of you here. I've got Queen of Pentacles central to their feelings for you. This is Capricorn energy. This is usually like wife type energy. It doesn't necessarily have to be like actually legally married wife, but it could be them viewing you in that sense. Viewing you as the centerpiece of the home and the family and the person that they're wanting to build their life around, and potentially wanting to put in the work on that with you. Probably after some sort of a loss. I've got the Chariot next, which is a Cancer Major Arcana card. This is the fastest energy in the deck. This is about, at its core, like using the will to overcome the obstacles or the problems or the challenges that are in the way. Just getting past all that stuff through sheer will alone and being able to move forward successfully very quickly on something. But there is an issue of alignment in this card. We have a black sphinx and a white sphinx that represents the shadow side of a person and the light side of a person. And the driver doesn't have any reins to control this, so he uses willpower alone to steer it and control it. And if the driver isn't in full alignment, if both of those pieces of himself aren't pulling in the same direction, this thing doesn't go anywhere, and it's every bit as stuck as the Hanged Man. Or worse yet, it'll rip itself in half, pulling in two different directions at the same time, tear itself in half as it tries to move forward. So we have an element here of probably feeling about you in the sense of like you're the center of my life and what I want to build my life around. Whether or not you're actually married to this person or not, probably irrelevant, because that's kind of the view that they have of you here, at least how they feel about you. And this idea of trying to overcome the obstacles and put in the work on stuff, and probably having some regrets and some emotional loss because they want to hold on to you, and probably have themselves convinced that this is the 10 of Cups. Shit, I didn't go deep enough. Right under that 10 of Cups is the Devil. Capricorn Major Arcana card. Like I said, this is very rarely talking to me about true love and happily ever after, as much as it tells me that this is an idealized view that someone has. It's kind of like the difference between how much money's in your bank account right now versus how much do you wish was in your bank account right now. It's the same kind of a concept in terms of what is this relationship actually versus what do I wish it was. And with the Devil behind it, that's toxic energy. That's distorted energy. This is obsession or addiction or a feeling of being trapped by something. It could represent that there's an element of toxicity hiding beneath this connection. It doesn't matter what they feel it is or what they wish it was. It's not that. Let's take a look at what this person is thinking about you, Aquarius. What's this person thinking about, Aquarius? Just had 7 of Cups flip up, show itself to me, and then go right back in the deck and not come out. 7 of Cups is options and choices and confusion about the options and choices and not wanting to pick the wrong cup and make some kind of a mistake, but clouded judgment on some level. Underlying their thinking here. 4 of Cups, Cancer energy. This is about not being fully emotionally happy, not fully emotionally content with what I have right here in front of me. So much so that I'm daydreaming about this other cup, this other thing that I think is going to lead me to my happiness and fulfillment. This 3 cups that they're staring at is the 3 of Cups. It represents being united and celebrating, being together, or being reunited and celebrating, getting back together. Probably not having that, and they're daydreaming about that, probably wanting you back. This can represent a person who is contemplating making a love offer to you, but they just haven't done so for some reason, usually out of fear of being rejected. Sometimes this can represent, I brought a third person into the connection here, and I can't get that person out of my head. Have 8 of Wands right below that, Sagittarius energy. This is the second fastest moving energy in tarot. The only thing faster is this Chariot that we've already seen. This is very fast, rapid, like back and forth, passionate communication about something. It can be rapid forward movement or progress on something. It can represent travel. It can just represent a whole lot of energy coming at this person all at one time. Like it's too much to handle, too much to process all at once, and it can feel very overwhelming. 8 of Swords behind that, Gemini energy of being stuck in their head, grinding on something over and over again on this repeating loop in their mind and not being sure what's the safe move to make here. And I don't want to make a mistake and step in the wrong spot, but I'm feeling stuck and trapped and blocked because I don't know what to do, and now I'm like overthinking something here. I got 2 8s in a row right there. Not happy, probably because they don't have you. And they're probably feeling too much going on at one time and not sure what to do with all that. When I look at their actual thinking, I get the 4 of Wands, the 5 of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. The 4 of Wands is Aries energy. 4s are stability. This is stability of the home, stability of the family, stability of the connection between the two of you. These 4 Wands represent 1111, which is the number of manifesting. I've got a 4 on the bottom, and a 4 as the first card. I've got 2 8s under that. I've got an 8 as their first card. This is starting to see like a pattern here. They're wanting to work on the stability of the home and the family and the connection. They're wanting to put in work on this person that they're feeling is the centerpiece of their home and their family, probably the one they want to build their life around. But the problem here is the 5 of Swords in the center of their thinking. This is Aquarius energy. 5s are conflict. This is sometimes a conflict in communicating, like a big fight happening, bitter words being spoken, words being used like weapons, tongues like swords to cut each other. Sometimes this is a betrayal. No matter what, this is a mentally and psychologically painful situation or event taking place here. It's tied directly to stability of the home and this wife type energy. Again, whether that's actual legally married wife or just living together or the person I want to build my life around, there is a betrayal tied to that. And I have the Wheel of Fortune next, which is a change in the luck and fortune to something. If things have been going great, this would be that pivotal moment where the wheel spins the other way and things take a left turn into the telephone pole. If things have been going bad between the two of you, which it looks like it probably has been, this would be them trying to turn the wheel the other way and kind of correct course and put things back on the right track here. It's tied to the Chariot, trying to overcome the obstacles. Another thing the Wheel of Fortune can mean is it can mean a repeating cycle of something happening, a repeating cycle of fighting, a repeating cycle of betrayal, a repeating cycle of mentally, psychologically painful things happening, a repeating cycle of needing to overcome obstacles here. Looking like they're still thinking about you quite a bit and potentially wanting to offer a cup of love to you, but probably not doing so yet because they're afraid they're going to get rejected, probably because of whatever this painful thing is, whether that's a betrayal or not. Let's take a look at their intentions toward you, Aquarius. What are this person's intentions toward Aquarius in December 2024, please? Okay, come here. They're making me dig for it. The cards aren't actually coming out. This is like, it's kind of like that sensation when you're trying to talk to someone and they're not being very forthcoming with the information, and it's like pulling teeth to kind of drag it out of them. That's kind of what that feels like for me. Underlying their intentions, 7 of Wands. This is Leo energy. This is defensive energy. This is defending their position on something, defending their stance on something, being willing to fight to protect or defend something that they want, something that's important to them, possibly being willing to fight for this connection or intending to do that. This could just be defensive energy, as in like you're asking them questions about stuff and they're like, no, I didn't do that. I think it's them wanting to fight for the connection and probably trying to correct course and overcome the obstacles here. I got the 3 of Wands next, which is Aries energy. This is essentially waiting on something. It's like, I know what I want and I've chosen the path that gets me there, and I've started taking steps down the path to fight for this thing that I want, and I fully expect the thing I want's going to happen. It just hasn't happened yet, and I'm kind of stuck waiting on it. We've gone backwards here from the 4 of Wands to the 3 of Wands. This would be the stage where I'm not waiting on it anymore. It's actually shown up and it's stable in the physical reality, and I can celebrate its arrival. But we're not at that stage yet because they're still wanting to fight for it and waiting on that to happen. 4 of Pentacles. This is Capricorn energy, holding on tightly to something and not wanting to let go of it. And the thing they're holding on tightly to is the 10 of Cups again, that happily ever after, the happy fairy tale ending, happy fairy tale romance. But you've seen me shuffle this. The devil is still behind it. This is not what... There's toxicity beneath this connection, and I think they're ignoring the toxicity and focused only on what they want it to be and not what is actually there. When I take a look at their intentions, I get the Magician, the Hierophant, and the Queen of Wands. The Magician is the Mac Daddy Master Manifester of the Tarot deck. This is someone whose thoughts and actions shape the world around them to be in alignment with what their will desires. I've got 2 cards out here that directly reference the will. This Magician also has all 4 aces on the table in front of him. The aces are the ones of the 4 suits, which would represent 1111, which is also tied directly to it here with this 4 of Wands above it, manifesting something. This is someone whose thoughts and actions have created the situation that I'm reading about, but it's also someone who is trying to actively manifest something and trying to get what they want to happen. And they seem to be putting in work on it now, or at least being willing to put in work on it. When I look at diagonally here, like this is overcoming the obstacles that are in the way, and they're trying to manifest doing that. I think the problem is what's between those 2 cards is that 5 of Swords, that either a mentally and psychologically painful situation or event, or a betrayal of some kind. And I'm feeling betrayal heavily here, especially with these next 2 cards. Next, I have the Hierophant, which is the Taurus Major Arcana card. This is a card of commitment. It's about being fully committed to the relationship. This is a marriage card. This 4 of Wands is a marriage card. This Queen of Pentacles is one half of the equation that builds the 10 of Pentacles, the combined together life, building a life together. The King of Pentacles would be the other half, and that card is missing out here. So I have right here 3 different references to marriage or being fully committed and possibly living together, and the card that's in the center of all of them, connecting all of them, is that betrayal type of an energy here with a repeating cycle sitting next to it. This doesn't go very well with it either, because I have the Queen of Wands. This is either Leo or Aries energy. It's a bold, passionate, fiery, determined person that knows what she wants. She goes after it. She doesn't usually take no for an answer. This is also the Fire Element Queen, the Wand Queen. The wand is the phallic symbol of the deck, the sexual energy. This is the Fire Element Queen, in other words, the hot queen, the one that there would be attraction to, desire for, sexual energy toward. I've got 2 different queens on the table in their energy here, Queen of Pentacles and Queen of Wands. 9 times out of 10, when I get this card, it represents the other woman. I'm looking at someone who has created a situation in their marriage or their fully committed relationship, and there is, looks like, another woman involved. I've got a betrayal right in the center of this stable home, family life type of a thing. When I go diagonally this way, I've got putting in work and effort, betrayal, and this Queen of Wands. And this Queen of Wands is also tied to some repeating cycle of something happening where things need to be overcome after that. So looking like this probably isn't the first time we've had some kind of a betrayal with this person. And I think they're not happy because they don't have you anymore, and they're wanting to fight to overcome this. Let's take a look at what their most likely actions are going to be as we move through the rest of December 2024, please. What are this person's most likely actions going to be? Excuse me, toward Aquarius. Come here. That doesn't give me a whole lot of clarity there. Underlying their most likely actions, the Hermit. This is the Virgo Major Arcana card. This is a card of withdrawal, isolation. They usually get this when communication has shut down, the person's not speaking anymore. If they haven't shut down communications completely, it's probably way different than it used to be and fewer and farther between. This is about being forced inside yourself to do soul searching and deep inner reflection and deep contemplation, trying to figure out what to do moving forward from here. This is not an energy that someone usually voluntarily goes into. Something usually happens and it forces a person to do soul searching. 4 of Cups. Yeah, they're not happy with the way things are. They're not happy probably because you're not together. Maybe this represents they brought another person into the connection because they couldn't keep that person out of their head. They're trying to figure out what to do here because I'm not happy either way. This is really feeling like somebody that's not happy when they're with you, and they're thinking about this other person, and then now that you guys aren't together and they're with the other person, they're still not happy, and they may not be talking to you about that. They may be thinking about offering their cup of love to you as well, and just keeping quiet about it. There's that overwhelming amount of energy here again. And them being stuck in their head, grinding in circles on it and not sure what to do, and being stuck and trapped and blocked. Not looking like a good spot for them to be in. What's actually out here in their most likely actions toward you, Aquarius? Two of Swords, the Empress, and the Two of Wands. Two twos. Two of Swords is Libra energy of a decision that needs to be made, only it hasn't been made yet for some reason. The person on the card's blindfolded, and sometimes that blindfold represents I just don't have enough information to be able to make a decision yet, which is why it hasn't been made. Sometimes that blindfold represents blinders that a person has on. In other words, there's something that they don't want to see, something they don't want to look at, and being in denial about it is preventing a decision from being made. Either way, they're trying to actively manifest putting in work on it. Sometimes that can represent that it isn't really their decision, it's your decision, and you haven't made any decision yet. Probably because there's this pattern of betrayal here, and a pattern of having to overcome obstacles, and a pattern of the other woman. Central to their most likely actions is the Empress. This is the mother of the tarot deck. She's always pregnant, so she's always giving birth to something. In a relationship reading, she represents the birth of a new relationship. Sometimes it can represent the rebirth of a relationship when one has died. It could be a rebirth of the commitment between the two of you, rebirth of a marriage. I've got wife at the top of this column and mother at the bottom of the column. It could be that you have a child with this person, and in the center of it is this commitment with betrayal attached to it. Either way, I mean, no matter how you slice this card, this is a mentally and psychologically painful situation or event, or someone that has like this winning at all cost attitude, like I got to get what I want, and if you get hurt in that process, well, sorry about your luck, because I'm getting what I want. And the final card in their most likely actions is about getting what they want. It's a Two of Wands. This is Aries energy. This is a fork in the road. It's a crossroads in their life, probably a crossroads in the connection between the two of you. This is a decision point, and it's a decision about what is it that I want my life to be like? What do I want my world to be like? And which of these two paths is going to get me to that? But you can't turn left and right at the same time. So it's not just about which path do I choose, but also which path do I leave behind. And I have to make that choice. And it looks like a choice needs made, but hasn't been made yet. And that might be they're waiting to find out what it is that you want. Because like their choice, I got the mother, like the birth of something new on one side, and the Queen of Wands, like this fiery passion energy here, this person that I have attraction for. And there's like a repeating cycle of this type of a choice, and then probably the aftermath and trying to overcome the aftermath here. Maybe this is them not hearing from you, and they want to offer you this cup of love, but maybe they're afraid to do that, and rightfully so. Let's get you some advice, Aquarius, and see what the heck is going on here for you. And what is the advice for Aquarius? What should they do or not do? How should they navigate this situation so things work out? Okay, in the way that's best for them. Not letting me finish my sentence here. These two came out together. Underlying your advice. Queen of Swords. This is she who knows the truth. This is Libra energy. She's about speaking the truth on something and then cutting off the things or the people that aren't in her best interest anymore. I usually get this card when there is a severing in the connection. In this case, it's advice. This is the advice is like, you know the truth already. It's time to cut away things that don't serve you anymore. Right below that, 5 of Pentacles. This is Taurus energy. This is abandonment. This is being cast aside. This is being left out in the cold. This is a breakup energy. And I've got these 2 cards as, oh shit. See, these 2 cards as your advice is like, you know the truth, cut this off, abandon this, leave it behind. 6 of Swords, Aquarius energy. This is the card that comes right after this 5 of Swords, where this mentally and psychologically painful thing happens, a betrayal happens. This is the next step. The pain is in the past already. You can't change that here. Your real power is in choosing what to do moving forward from here. And here you have this choice. Do I carry the pain and the burden from that pain forward with me so it continues to weigh me down and hold me back? Or do I carry forward the lesson that painful thing taught me so that nothing like this ever happens to me again? But you have that choice and that power. And it's looking like underlying this advice is just, hey, you've been hurt probably more than once, and it's time to leave this behind. When I look at what your actual advice is, 4 of Swords, 6 of Wands, King of Swords, 6 of Cups, and these 2 came out together, 9 of Swords, Knight of Wands. 4 of Swords is Libra energy. 4s are about stability. This is stabilizing your thinking, stabilizing your mind, calming your mind down so you can figure out what to do. It's about choosing to go inside yourself and heal something and to figure something out. It's the minor arcana version of this Hermit. The Hermit isn't really a choice. Something happens and it forces you into that spot. But you do have the choice here. This is you choosing to calm yourself down and clear your mind so you can figure out what to do. A lot of times I'll get this when your mind is too wound up and there's too much chatter going on in your head and you can't even hear your own intuition at that point because it's too noisy from all the thinking. This is like, shh, calm down, chill out and relax. You'll be able to hear your intuition. You'll be able to hear your own internal guidance and you'll figure out what to do. 6 of Wands. This is Leo energy. This is about moving forward successfully on something. It's about recognizing something, either about them or about the connection or even about yourself. But whatever it is that you recognize here, once you calm your thinking down and calm your mind down, allows you to move forward successfully. You're probably recognizing something about them. You're probably recognizing something about yourself too, but this really feels like about them. I have King of Swords in the center of this advice. That's the counterpart to this Queen of Swords that's still on the bottom of the deck. You get King and Queen of Pentacles, and those are counterparts. You get King and Queen of Cups, counterparts. They build like the 10 of Cups together. These people build the 10 of Swords together. These are not people that are supposed to be together. These are people that used to be together. King of Swords is either Aquarius or Gemini energy. This is a very smart, logical, rational decision maker. This is a person who's very emotionally detached when they make their decisions. They throw emotions and intuition right out the window, and they're only looking at the truth and the facts and what's right in front of me and what can I see and verify with my own eyes. Let me do the math and make sure this all adds up. Very calculated kind of a decision maker, very emotionally distant though. Sometimes self-serving, in other words, like I'm going to make decisions that are best for me. Excuse me. Dang. Goodness. 6 of Cups. Scorpio energy of the past. It's thinking about the past, reminiscing about the past, thinking about the good old days, the way things used to be. It can represent something from the past happening again. I do have the repeating cycle happening out here that's tied to betrayal on one side, and it's tied to Queen of Wands, usually means the other woman on one side. A repeating cycle of needing to overcome obstacles and problems. This is feeling like common sense. yeah, if you start dwelling in the past and thinking about the way things used to be, it could be easy for your emotions to get too involved, and then you might make illogical decisions, which is probably why it's saying, hey, calm your mind down, focus on the truth of what you know. Don't let your emotions cloud your judgment. Final card that came out, Nine of Swords, Knight of Wands. Nine of Swords is Gemini energy. This is fear, worry, anxiety, thinking about something so much with all that fear and worry behind your thinking that it starts to physically stress you out. It looks like the thing you're worried about is this Knight of Wands, which has a few meanings here. A lot of times this gets called the player of the tarot deck. It could represent that person who comes rushing in all passionately and tells you everything you want to hear just so they can get what they want. But then they run somewhere else just as passionately, tell that person everything they want to hear so they can get what they want there. And then they run back and forth playing both sides of the fence. Could be worrying that something like that is going to happen. There's probably a history of that happening. And I definitely see that in their energy out here. This could even be you worrying that you'll change your mind. This can be a wishy-washy, can't stay fully committed to what I said I wanted kind of an energy here. And it could be worrying about backsliding on that, which is probably why you're getting all this conscious mind energy out here in your advice. I've got 4 sword cards staring at me here. Calm your mind down. Now, this is definitely not a calmed down mind. And that's why this was your first card. It's like, back that down like 5 notches and you'll figure out what to do. I think if you get too focused on the nostalgia of it and the way things were at some point in time when it was happy, I think that can cause you to change your mind. And it looks very strongly like you're not supposed to be changing your mind. You're supposed to be cutting off the things that don't serve you anymore, abandoning that stuff. Could even be that you've been abandoned by them and it's time for you to move forward into your future, carrying the lesson you learned from all of this and not letting them come along for the ride to keep weighing you down. Now, if you still have questions you want answered about this situation or your relationship, click on any of the videos that just appeared on your screen right now. When you do, you'll be taken to more Aquarius love readings that can give you more insight and more clarity about what's really going on in your particular situation. And I'll see you in the next video.